Hi, I thought I'd record this little short video just to give you a taste as to what I did do today in Valley Oak. What did she call them? Rather than boys chorus or men's glee, she called it men singing. Peg Hudson started this at Valley Oak almost 20 years ago. Actually, it's probably 18 now. And 14 of those 18 years, she's had me come as her guest to celebrate the puberty party, life changing of men, boys to men, if you will. And what she does is she just continues to motivate these guys to keep singing, no matter how their voices are squeaking or squawking. What was absolutely amazing is here were 60 young men who came in orderly with not a peep. They stood on the risers. They were in groups of 4 up and down the risers. And to do attendance, the one in the back answered her question as to, are they all here? And he would say, all here, or he'd say who's absent. They were all here today, all 60 of them. Then she just introduced me with probably more of a glowing introduction than I ever deserved, but it was very nice to feel such, what's the word? It was edifying. That I've had 4 sons, all go through Valley Oak and Golden West, and that she sees me as a good friend as well as a man who has some wisdom to impart and encourage teenagers, and that I am not afraid to be honest and straightforward. But she also said, and he's quite funny. He can be both hysterical and serious. And so it kind of set the stage for me. As they're walking in, I'm eating an orange like an apple. And I start with that. I say, an orange, the best part of it is the peel and the healthy part of it. And to take care of your voice. Today, my voice was pretty weak because I've had this horrible cold the last several days. But it was okay because I just was the way I am. And I used a couple of, how could I say it? Approaches, I guess, in addressing and encouraging these young men and their world. Started off with that there are wants and needs, and called out for some of those. What are some things that we say, I want? And what are some of the things that we actually need? And then I narrowed it down that we'll say, I want, when it's not really a need. And we'll say I need when it's not really a want. So let's figure that out. What are some of the real needs? And I tried to narrow it down that there's very few real needs in our lives. When we need food, health, a roof, what else do we really need to have life? Oh, family, friends, love. I went through talking about my own 4 sons and how they have grown up and how they have gone through puberty. I tell them I've observed puberty 5 times, my own and my 4 sons. I do a little survey, if you will, overview of how my son's vocal development happened and what they've done with it. And then I start talking to them about what love is. I could post, I guess, the little handout that I give them. I give them a card that outlines that there are 5 words, 4 words for love, and that 3 of them are conditional and 1 is unconditional, and that if we actually were being honest about how we love, we may not use the word the same way. We know that we don't love pizza the same as we love mom and apple pie and our girlfriend. I challenge them though also that do we need a girlfriend? And I'm real honest about I needed, because I was so needy as a teenager, not having had a dad and trying to feel better about myself, I had girlfriends to make me feel better, that it wasn't a healthy choice. And then I share with them Eros, the conditional love of if you excite me, if you turn me on, if you will. And of course, junior high kids, they love that. Oh, turn me on. But how that is, unfortunately, how most relationships are based. And it's not going to be hearts and flowers or excitement every day. It's not possible. And relationships end. Divorce happens because of that void of having that need met. The marriage can't be based on that. Relationship can't be based on that. Second one was phileo, brotherly love. That we have something in common. Right now we're all in the men singing group. And in a few minutes we hit that door. We still have that commonness, but we're now moving around with others. And so commonness, brotherly love, is what phileo love is. It's not a love we have with everyone. It's what we have something in common with. Storge, the love of family. That you may not like your family, but you love them because they are your family. You share a toilet seat with them is what I refer to. That always gets their attention. And then the fourth, the unconditional love, agape, which is really the love we really need. Every one of us needs to be accepted for who we are. We need to have someone care about us by choice. They just choose to care for us. And that is how a relationship lasts. In the room, there was a marriage, mine 37 years, Mrs. Hudson's 36 years, Mrs. Mattoon 35 years. And I said, I know all three of us are still married. We're not married because our marriages are perfect. We're not married because we are perfect. We're married still because we have chosen to have the other person's needs be met and more important than our own. And so we work at that. Our marriages could have fallen apart, but we work at caring for the other person more than we care about ourselves. And that's how our marriage lasts. And then I sing for them. I will leave a recording of the song that I sang. It was from Les Mis. It was Bring Him Home. Not one of my strongest voices today, but I had their attention for 45 minutes. I shared my heart with them. I challenged them. And they may not say love again the same way.